Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, a divine messenger, delivering messages to you from the higher realms. Welcome in. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this beautiful energy today. This is the end of September. We're starting off October tomorrow, so let's see what's going on with this energy. Now keep in mind, all my readings are timeless, as time is literally an illusion. It's not really the way we interpret it as, it's the way that is taught in this earthly realm. But as we know, when we connect with divine and find out what's going on, that's why we always hear divine timing, because there's no time in the fifth dimension. Okay, now they're showing me the Three of the Swords with the Tower. Okay, so there are some tower moments that are occurring. Some sadness, some emotional pain, some lost love. But is this happening, or is this changing? Is it transforming? Are you coming out of this? You get to discern what part of your life this applies to you. Are you either going through this, or is this occurring in your world? Right? So you know, if you've been going through this, then you're coming out of it. If you're not, then it's time for change. But you know, with heartbreak and loss, it always opens the door for new. I heard the other day somebody explained it perfectly, how you can't accept something new without letting something go. So you have to sacrifice something to get something new, even if it's just letting go of an old lifestyle to choose a new lifestyle. It might not be a sacrifice like where you're thinking like, oh, I need to be heartbroken over this. And even then you decide how you are going to feel that. How long you're going to feel it, how it's going to touch you. And you know, pain can be a beautiful thing. It's about how you transmute it, how you feel it. Like lately I've been feeling like a lot of me releasing sadness and grief, but I've also been doing it with gratefulness. Like realizing that without those painful experiences, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been able to access certain levels of depth that I needed. And as the chosen ones, we know that. That's why we know when it's like we want to experience pain, because we want to be able to know what it feels like to be able to help others rise. We want to experience them. And what you would think, why would you want to do that? And I used to think it's because for some, maybe they have that feeling of not worthiness, needing to be punished for some of the things. And a lot of the ones that I do align with are the ones that are in that energy of feeling as though I've messed up. I deserve to be experiencing this because of the choices that I've made. But you need to know that you can get hung up in those, that you need to tell yourself, okay, it's time for me to release this now. I have felt this, I've experienced it, I've punished myself, now it's time to come out of this, right? And that's what I mean. A lot of us get stuck in these cycles. Like, don't be sitting there thinking about all of these things that happen to you and how you're being punished and how the world is unfair and the world is an evil place and all of that. No, you got it all wrong. That's what I'm saying. Those people need the most amount of healing because they don't see the light, and they can't even see the blessings when they're being given to them. You know, like I had said to my lover the other day, like he is having a bad day. A lot of things kept happening, you know, and he kept looking up and he kept saying, where are you? Where are you? Why are you not helping me? Why are you not giving me the guide? Like, why can't I hear you? And I said, what are you waiting for? Why do you keep looking up? Why are you looking externally for help? I said, you're asking, but you're not opening up. I said, you need to realize the help that you're asking for, that you're seeking, it comes to you, but you're not realizing it because you're shutting it out, looking for, what are you waiting for it to be written in the sky? Not everybody can hear the voice of God. It's a very beautiful thing when you can. But you need to be able to fully open up all of your chakra systems, fully be able to connect with divine source energy and receive those downloads. But there are ones that can. The ones that can are often our true divine teachers. So, ooh, it's green. Hold on. Very good. Yep. So, what I was saying is, when you're asking for help, and even though you may be in a place of darkness, not being able to see it, you gotta learn to just let that go and be open to receiving it. I said, you don't even realize you have me sitting here right next to you. That's offering you help right now, telling you ways that you can get the answers that you need, getting the help. And I'm going to go ahead and explain the situation to try to put it into terms a little bit. Okay, so all of a sudden, after he had done that, I had started saying things because I like to show him after the fact. So after he had said that and it got quiet, then I started to say things like, you should elevate your feet, let's go get an ice pack to put on your back, things like that. Why he was reaching out is because he was in a lot of pain. And he's had this pain in his back for a while. And I know that it's related to stress, and I've been telling him that because stress, it affects the circulation of your blood throughout your body. It tightens all of your muscles. It does all of these things. And then when you're already very tense, all of a sudden a jerk, a trip, or something like that can pull a muscle and things like that. So first of all, you got to calm yourself down to be able to calm your nerves down, right? Because I know that. So anyway, so he's been under large amounts of stress, and and it's always when he runs into back pain and things like that. But I know that he had a pulled or a pinched nerve or muscle in his back or whatever. But instead of him just asking God to take the pain away and things like that. So anyway, he was getting mad. So I was telling him all of the different remedies and the different things that he can do to take the pressure off of his back and to alleviate the pain. Then I was telling him different things like stop lifting your weights, stop doing things just he wasn't thinking about, because in his mind, I'm not pulling my back if I'm sitting down and I'm working my arm muscles, things like that. Like he wasn't thinking clearly, so I was saying all of these things and stuff and telling him ways or whatever. And so then a few minutes after he was sitting there and he had his feet elevated, he had the ice behind his back, he was starting to feel the relief and the pain off of his back. I had said to him, I said, you see, you were looking up and you were asking for help, and even though you were doing it in a way of venting because you were mad because you had still had this pain and you've been asking for it to alleviate, I said you had me speaking to you, telling you ways to alleviate the pain. Now I said, I know that you've had this back pain for, the last couple days, couple weeks, however long it's been. And I said it, but I've never thought to tell you to do those things. But I did just now, and now look at you. So you see, Divine used me as a vessel to deliver that guidance to you. And now look, and you heard it because it came from me. I said, so see, that's what Divine does. They use others to help you to communicate, to speak the word of God, divine, or creator. It comes through people because we are all connected with it. Just a lot of people are shut off to it. That's why whenever I feel I get a download, and it happens a lot, I'll get messages to go tell people things. As I'm also a medium, so I hear other spirits, guides, and ancestors that want me to deliver messages to certain people, and they will align them with me, and then I'll be telling them things, and that's why people will open up to me with the help that they need, you know what I mean? And I can give them the guidance and the messages or whatever. So basically what I'm saying is, like, you need to be open. Everybody needs to learn to be open, that, you know, the answers that you seek when you're seeking for help, it comes to you, but you can't shut out people, because, you know, anybody can channel messages from the higher realms, from the divines, and a lot of people do it and they don't even realize that they're doing it. A lot of you are divine messengers and helpers, and you don't even realize it. You know, the angels can use us at any time. And of course, it's easier to use the ones that run on that higher vibrational frequency. But even when you're in that low vibrational frequency, you can still be used. Like, have you ever seen just like people that get that strength that they really don't have, or get the ideas that all of a sudden they're going and helping somebody doing something, and they're like, wow, like I just did that and I didn't even know what I was doing. You know, where did I get that knowledge from? I guess that was something I had done before for it to come to me, and things like that. Or have you ever just all of a sudden been in the right moment to pull somebody back from falling or tripping, or, you know, things like that? It's those things, right? I can't tell you how many times I'd be in the car and I'd be talking and I'd be distracted by all of my children or something. And all of a sudden, like, I'd hit the brakes, and I'd be like, why did I just hit the brakes? And then because the car in front of me had hit their brakes, but I had missed it because I wasn't seeing it, but the angels didn't. You know, so that's what I mean. Like, when you learn to let go of that heaviness, you're able to be protected and guided more and more by your angels, more and more by the light, by the guidance. That's why I say when people are going through things, they don't realize that they're blocking out, you know. Like, if you have an ego, you have too much of this, I can do this by myself. That's why ego also stands for edging God out. Because if you think that, nope, you know, like, there's been a lot of times where he gets mad, like, God doesn't help me anyways, I'm going to do everything myself. And he gets this mindset that he's going to, and it's like, fine, if you don't want that help and that guidance, and you want to be disconnected and you want to try to navigate it yourself, like, okay, go ahead. I mean, you can. But, yeah. No, it's much better to learn that things happen for you, for your soul's growth, for your evolution. Things aren't happening here to you. You are creating your reality. You create your heaven and your earth. God's always in control. I don't think the Creator's always in control. The ones that think that this world is hell, is going to have all this. No, the Creator's always been in control. Always. And it's all going perfectly to plan. I used to be here and I was on this divine work, like, gosh, we have to fix Sky, we have to fix it, we have all of this. Like, as soon as it started to be destroyed, as soon as things started to happen here, the rescue mission was already set into plan. It's almost like things had to be destroyed for us to see what would happen. It's like we had to experience those. This is set up with such precision. It is so perfect, the way everything is, the way karma is, the way all of the laws are, the way you really get to experience everything that you desire. Everything. Everybody thinks that you don't get to experience heaven until you escape this realm. You can create heaven on earth here. You have to perfectly, You have to manifest high enough to be able to escape this. Everything here, it's like once you reach that level, then you fully escape. But if you're still here, you have things you need to work through. So even when you're experiencing things, therefore that evolution, that growth, that test, that are you going to release it? Are you going to let go of it? Are you going to learn from it? Are you going to change it? Are you going to do that again? And sometimes it's literally like, yeah, are you experiencing it because you're letting certain people in your realm, in your world? Right? Yeah. And you do have past life things that, yeah, you do stuff to people in past lives. In your next life, are you going to have to experience it and go through it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you start to not think, like even when things of mine break and things, I don't think that's not fair. That shouldn't happen. I don't get mad. Like, I mean, I have. Yes. I'm human. Yes. I'm still learning to control my emotions. Yes. But every time I get better and better and better at it. Every time. I'm still learning and perfecting it. A lot of times we don't give ourselves the credit that we need to for how much we've changed. You know what? And I've looked back at the experiences and the things that I've went through. Like, gosh, it's been rough. Gosh, could it have been rougher? Yes. What? Even when I was in my darkest hour, did I think that I look back at that now, like even in like my darkest hour, I was still protected. When I thought I was going through the most, I know now I was still protected and I was still guarded. Because I have seen others go through it far worse. You know, you need to be more grateful and thankful for the things that you have. You need to learn, you know, I don't know. I'm almost out of time already. I only pulled 2 cards, Tower and 3 of Swords. Maybe that's all they wanted me to do. Maybe not. Let's take a look at this last one. The Queen of Wands. Dominance, ambition, the center of attention, to be admired, self-affirmations, leadership, full of energy, daring, confident, visionary, and charismatic. Taking action on your life, on your world. Biggest thing is to start to take control of your reality. Start to command it. Start to say you know you're worthy of it. Be grateful for all of the experiences and all of the things. Be grateful of the pain and the things that taught you, that showed you. The time for change is now. We're at this major time of change. Major resets around eclipses. As we just had our fall equinox, and it officially, like, I've been feeling these vibes all day of like, gosh, it's like a beautiful fall day. It really is. Like, we finally got out, cut our grass, put flowers up, setting things up as we're still working on setting up our new home. And I've been thinking a lot about how things have just transformed and changed just so quickly over this eclipse season. Like, things are happening so fast that I was unaware that they were. I was just like, how is all of this happening so quickly? You know? Now remember, whenever you feel guided to this, it's what you're meant to see it. But